Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. This week we have two tabs. One is for the midterm assessment up here. It's due by October the 2nd. It is a timed quiz. Be aware of this. It is a timed quiz. You only have 45 minutes to complete it. So do not click on the quiz until you're ready to actually do it, because after the time will start as soon as you click on it, and it will continue to run until 45 minutes is up, and then it will automatically submit when your 45 minutes expires. Should you finish before the 45 minutes, then you can submit it yourself. But just know that when the 45 minutes is up, it submits, and so there's nothing to be done about it. I was not given any option on this. Everybody's doing it the same way, and everybody's getting 45 minutes to do it. So before you attempt that midterm assessment, though, please come down to this week's tab and read what you need to do first. And it says right here, you want to view my video, which is what you're doing. You want to read the document using evidence from an infographic to support a claim. And that is right here, right here. Let's open that and take a look at it. The reason I want you to read this first before you take the midterm assessment is because you're going to be given a writing prompt and a choice of several, well, they're not several, they're just three infographics that you can use to build evidence for a claim that you're making. So I wanted to go over it with you before you actually had to do that. Okay, so here's the document here. And this is not an assignment. This is just to show you how to do it. All right, so using evidence from infographics to support a claim. Use evidence from an infographic in the same manner you use textual evidence from an article to help build your claim. Consider the following infographic. So we have this infographic here on the gender wage gap, which is something that we have been talking about, and it is related to our project 3, which we'll look at in just a moment. But to show you how you can use information from this graphic, I have given you a sample down here. If I make that my claim, which the thing is titled, there's my title, a little slow up here, is the gender wage gap partially caused by major choice, a choice of majors in college? And so here I have it here. The question is posed at the top of the infographic: is the gender wage gap partially caused by the choice of major in college? So because it asks that, bold that so you can see it a little bit better, then if I make that my claim right there, then I need supporting evidence to back me up, and I would write something like this. So this is just a sample paragraph that I wrote. This would be similar to what you would write for the writing prompt using the infographics for the midterm assessment. So there is a gender wage gap in the United States. There has been quite a bit of discussion about discrimination of women in the workplace. Most would agree that it is not because of education, because America's women are more educated overall than men. However, there is another angle to consider. While women are becoming educated, what kinds of degrees do they pursue for what kinds of job opportunities? It seems that after considering this, the gender wage gap is at least partially caused by the choice of, caused by the, I've seen an error. Pardon me for editing, Mom. talking to you, caused by the choice of major in college. For example, according to the infographic, is the gender wage gap partially caused by major choice? The highest paying job in the study, aviation, revealed that men outnumber women by nearly 9 to 1. Another example from the same infographic shows that women earning medical degrees make up nearly 85% of the field. However, a career in aviation pays over $123,000 per year, while a career in the medical field only pays an average of over $40,000. So the kind of degree plays a major part in the gender wage gap. So this is just, like I said, this would be something similar to what you would do for the midterm assessment. So I pulled information from the graphic and put it in here as my backup information, just the way that we would do if we had an article to pull information from. Just because it's in a picture with text included, that's what an infographic is. It's something that has pictures and text. Then you use it the same way that you would information from an article. Okay, so once you have reviewed that, and I just reviewed it with you, but review it good, then go back up here to the midterm assessment and click on that. Now, as soon as you click on that, it's going to start timing you. You only have 45 minutes to finish. I can't stress that enough. And there's not, if you run out of time, there's nothing I can do about it. So anyway, I'm just letting you know. Forewarned is forearmed, they say. Okay, so the next thing under this week, read the assignment document for Project 3, Comparison and Contrast Essay using information from graphics. Especially review the part of the document that shows an example of converting graphic information to expository text. Use the information you learned from reading the assignment document for Project 3 to write 3 paragraphs of your own based on your selection of another country other than the United States from the Gender Gap Report. And that should be 2017, but anyway, I'll go back and fix that too. 2 graded assignments, then the midterm assessment and the 3-paragraph assignment for Project 3. So let's pull that document up and you'll see. We're not writing the whole essay this week. We'll get back to the essay next week, but right now we're just going to pull up this 2017 Global Gender Gap Report, because this is what you're going to use to find the information for the 3 paragraphs that you're going to write. Now, in the document, let me go back and pull the document up too. The document here, Project 3, Comparison and Contrast Essay. And in the Comparison and Contrast Essay document, we're just going to do down the steps down through writing these 3 paragraphs. We're going to come back to this again next time, next week, and actually write the comparison and contrast essay. Okay, so here we go. All the information here, of course, comes from that report that I opened, the Global Gender Gap Report for 2017. But I made, for the document explaining how to do this assignment, the assignment document, I made screenshots so you can see within the document. And this is slow. Okay, so the objective of this assignment, and it's not cooperating with me. There we go. The objective for this assignment is to compare and contrast the United States and another country of your choice as based on graphic information from the Global Gender Gap Report 2017. All right, there's another link to it right within the document here. And also, it's on the middle page, and that's where I pulled it up from. All right, so find the information about the United States. It's on page 334, 335 of the report, but actually in the PDF file, it comes up page 344 to 345. I'm not sure why they don't match, but they don't. So you'll be able to find it, though. It's under United States, and it's and all the countries are in alphabetical order. And so STU, United States. All right, so you're going to find information about these 3 points of comparison. Economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, and health and survival. And so I've made some notes. The U.S. is ranked 49 out of 144 countries. And see the figure below. These are the screenshots I took from the report. So you can see there it is, right? It's 49 out of 144 countries. And then noticing some other information about the United States, see figure 2 to view the change in ranking from 2006 to 2017. So here's the global gender gap score, ranked 23 in 2006, and we have fallen since 2006 to 2017. Now we're 49th on the gender gap scale. And then here are 4 categories that they have it divided into: economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment. I'm using the first 3 of these for you to do your assignment this week. We're not going to worry about the political empowerment at this point. All right, so here we have in 2006, this was the ranking. We were 3rd in economic participation and opportunity, and in 2017 we went down to 19. Educational attainment, we were 66 in 2006, and look, we're number 1 in 2017, the most educated country in the world, as far as men and women both getting an education. And then the health and survival, we were 1st in 2006, but we have dropped, oh man, all the way down to 82nd in health and survival. So we have really dropped while other countries have moved up. All right, see figure 3 to view the information about rank and distance to parity. Parity is this middle line here, and parity just means equality. So with males and females being equal would be the center line. Everything on this side would be the distance to get to equality, and everything on this side would be surpassing being equal. So we can see, looking at this, that under economic participation and opportunity, the labor force participation, 60 for females, 66.2, males 77.4. So slightly higher for males, and so the distance to parity is shown here on this line. Wage equality, an even bigger gap, and you can see the bar extends further, so it's a bigger gap. So we have estimated earned income, 45,000 for women and 69,000 for men, and that's why there's such a gap here. And then legislators, senior officials, and managers, like the Sheryl Sandberg is encouraging everybody to lean in and get to aspire to some of those positions. You can see our distance to parity is closer than the wage gap, but still a good gap there between what it actually is and the number in those careers and having it be equal between men and women. So you can see here, females 43.4 and males 56.6. And then as professional and technical workers, this is interesting, females 57.1 and males 42.9, which is why it shows women have exceeded men on this side. This is how far behind they are to men on this side. This side shows that we're exceeding in that area. Okay. This is really hard to scroll on while the video camera is on for some reason. Okay, and the information is broken down into 5 categories by male and female labor force participation, and all of those that I went through when I was looking at it with you just then. See Figure 4 to view information about the rank and distance to parity for educational attainment. And overall enrollment in college, tertiary education, women far exceed men in that area with 99.6 versus 72.8. And but you can look at the individual statistics there, the literacy rate, enrollment in primary, secondary, and then tertiary. So we're about dead even. The parity line, we're all equal until we get up here to college, and then more females are going to college than males. See Figure 5 for information about the rank and distance to parity for health and survival. And this is where since 2006 we've come way down, but looking at it now, health and survival, ratio at birth, sex ratio at birth, a little less females, a little fewer, I should say, females born than males, but just a little bit. And then healthy life expectancy, women are exceeding men over there, but overall between now, so we're pretty even. But if you look back at 2006, we really dropped. So maybe all people are becoming more healthy, but a lot of countries have passed us. Okay, so view the following paragraphs that translate this information, all of this stuff that I've been talking about, all this stuff that we've been looking at. Your assignment is going to be to write it in paragraph form, so in expository paragraphs. So here is each one of them. Notice they all have topic sentences, and they use information from that report to build the paragraph. In other words, you're looking at what we just looked at, but you're explaining it. Expository just means explaining. You're explaining it in words in a paragraph instead of referring people to those figures. Okay, so here we have the first one. According to the 2017 Global Gender Gap Report, women in the United States are now as highly educated as men, and the U.S. is now the world's leader in education for women compared to 66 worldwide in 2006. So that information came from page 334. So you use the in-text citation just like you did for the information you brought in from the articles that you read. Literacy rates and primary education rates for males and females are roughly equal, but a higher percentage of women continue to high school, secondary education, and substantially more women attend college or university than men. Okay, so not every detail is in this paragraph, but concerning education, the important things are what I saw as interesting points to point out are in this paragraph. Interestingly, more men than women go on to attain PhD degrees than women by 1/3. That's 0.66 on the scale score. However, women obtaining degrees in medical fields outnumber men 3 to 1. All right, so that's all my backup information, all my evidence that supports my topic sentence about education. Here's the second paragraph. Also, according to the 2017 Global Gender Gap Report, women's health care and mortality in the United States is on an even par with men, yet despite having nearly the same score as in 2006, this country has dropped from the most advanced in the world for medical care for women to 66, meaning that other countries have made greater strides in women's health than we have. So that's why we've dropped so far down on the scale. Women generally outlive men by a few years. This may be attributable to the fact that while men and women tend to die of natural causes at about the same rate, men die more frequently of accidents by about 1/3 and by suicide by almost 1/4. And all that information came from page 335 in the document. Not in this document, not in this assignment document, but in the this document, the Global Gender Report. All right, so, and then here's the third one. Finally, according to the 2017 Global Gender Gap Report, educational gains for American women have only made a marginal economic difference for them in the last decade, and 16 other countries have pulled ahead of the United States in the area of economic empowerment for women. Now, this is my own words, but I got this information and was able to explain it in my own words by looking at data on page 334. Women in the United States are paid at a rate of under 3/4 the earnings of men who do equivalent work, and women make less than 2/3 of the income that men earn. And that came from page 334 also. Men make up almost 1/4 more of the decision-making positions in the economy than women. Encouragingly, women are 1/3 more likely to be employed in technical or professional positions. So it's interesting that this global gender gap report actually matches the information that we saw on the other graphic that I showed you as a sample of that midterm assessment. Okay, so note that all the paragraphs have clear topic sentences. The information for the report has in-text citation, those in parentheses with those page numbers, just the way you did when you used textual evidence. This is evidence from a graphic instead of from a written document. So, what do you do with that? Well, I'm giving that to you. That is yours to use, that the United States. Now, what you have to do is pick another country. Anyone in that report, just as I said, they're in alphabetical order, just pick one. Anyone except the United States, because I've already given you the stuff for the United States. You're going to pick another country, and you're going to find this, the information the same as for the United States. You're going to look for economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, and health and survival. And then you're going to translate the graphic information into expositive paragraph form, modeling the paragraphs that I gave you for the United States. Create those paragraphs in a Google Doc with proper MLA format, upload the Google Doc on the Turnitin link, and this will count as a course grade. And that's all you have to do for this week. So I'm not going to go over the rest of the document. We'll go over that next week when you go back and do that. So create your Google Doc and then upload it here where it says translation of graphics to expository text. So if you have any questions about this as you're doing it, I think it's going to be really helpful to you to see it modeled in the document like I gave you for the United States. So you do the same thing for another country, and then next week we'll look at how to put them together in a comparison and contrast essay. So I hope you have a great week. Contact me if you have any questions, and see you next time.